We're completely blind on what we're tasting. We have no idea what's in either one of these glasses. I'm new shirt goofing because we got new merch. Let's get into this. I'm excited about it.
Welcome to Stuff and Whiskey. I'm Erin.
I'm Josh. I got a cool shirt on. Look at this.
Yay,
I'm so happy. We got some new merch up on
looks good on you,
stuffandwhiskey.com. That's in the video description below. Just excited about it. Want to share it. But we don't know what we're tasting.
No.
We're double blind.
Yes.
It doesn't mean we know what we're drinking and we just don't know which glass. It means we have no idea what either one of these pours are.
Nope.
And we do it that way to eliminate all the bias or hype or price tags or anything else that might go along with either of these whiskeys, whether they be bourbons or ryes. But they've been matched up for one reason or another to make these interesting matchups that are hopefully insightful and informative for you.
Yep.
These have been drawn at random from our blind sample pool. Can't wait to see why these two were matched up. We'll talk about that later in the video once we find out what we're drinking, but you'll see us give them some ratings, tell you which one we prefer, and yeah, we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Let's get right into it. No delay.
Ooh, it smells nice.
Sweet.
It smells sweet.
Sweet forward.
Kind of caramely, however you want to say it.
Either one is fine as long as you pronounce the second A. Every letter matters.
Caramel or caramel.
Yeah. Right.
Not caramel.
Caramel, like Mount Carmel, that's a place. But caramel or caramel is a thing that you could eat.
You didn't pronounce the second A in the second time. You
I
said
did.
caramel.
I did. Rewind the tape. You can see.
You said caramel.
Caramel. I'm blurring it all
Not
together.
caramel. So,
I say caramel.
but that's what people do.
Because the candy bar, what's the candy bar called?
You just blurt it all together. That's what people do. That's
No,
why
they
say
don't.
caramel.
They don't blur it. They just say caramel.
Okay.
They don't say caramel. They say caramel. It's a big difference.
I can't tell a difference in what you just
You can tell a
said.
difference. She just doesn't listen to me. That's what's going on around here.
Please. If anyone doesn't listen, it's you. Exactly.
All right. Sweet, fruity forward, bourbony
I'm
type of
getting
sweetness.
a little bit of tea vibes too.
I can see that. Like a Lipton's or a Louisiana, like a classic Southern tea.
Just a tea. Yeah.
There's all kinds of different teas. You have to be more specific. You mean black tea, green tea, herbal tea, chamomile?
Like a
Loose leaf?
regular tea. Like when you go to the restaurant and you get iced tea.
Okay, but some
Iced tea.
If you're in a coffee shop and you ask for tea, you're gonna get some green tea or some black tea. You gotta be more specific.
Okay, I get iced tea, but not iced.
Warm iced tea.
Just room temp iced tea.
That's why I say Lipton or Louisiana, because those are two brands that most people know when it comes to regular
that's
tea.
fair. That's fair.
Good grief. Yeah, let's get this on the palate. Smells great.
It's got some spice. Like, I don't know if it's
Yeah.
spice, but
No, it is.
there's a spice sensation.
Yeah, it's almost like an effervescence that you would get from like, it's not soda. I'm not saying soda flavors, but you ever had something that somebody's made in a soda stream
No.
and it's extra carbonated?
No.
That's the sensation this gives.
Interesting. There is like a sensation of spice or carbonation, even though it's not.
Right, but that is the sensation, and because I was not expecting that, at least, we're just going to throw away that first sip.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
And let's
Do
get
over.
into the second one.
It's less sweet on the palate than I thought it would be based on how it smelled. But it's got some power, and also I have a little bit of a scratchy throat, and it feels really good on my scratchy throat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just because it's whiskey or if it's because it's got the
Yeah.
effervescent sensation.
It does have some power. I'm detecting like a good bit of oak, which is, I think, balancing out the sweetness a little bit.
Kind of tempering any sweetness on the
Yeah,
palate.
it's got more proof than I expected.
Yeah.
It's got more of that spice sensation than I expected, that carbonated kind of black peppery, pop roxy type of sensation.
And I feel it still, the finish.
Yeah. And I said fruit forward on the nose, and I couldn't quite identify what fruit. But on the palate, it's coming through like the Luden's cherry cough drops, which aren't even medicinal at all. They're just candy for kids. I eat them like candy.
You eat them like candy. I don't think they're supposed to be eaten like candy.
I know, but they don't like a Ricola cough drop that's cherry is way more medicinal. There's way more medicinal.
Okay.
A Hall's
Yeah.
cherry, that's medicinal.
Yeah.
Luden's not medicinal. I hear a lot of people say that.
Yeah.
Luden's is not medicinal.
Yeah.
That's candy.
Yeah.
That's what I taste right there. Luden's
Okay.
cherry cough drop candy, because that's what it is. And then that carbonation, oak, really nice.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
There's a lingering finish, so I do think it's pretty proofy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More than I thought it would be. Let's get in the glass too and see how it compares.
Oh.
Oh,
This
smells good too.
It smells similar, but maybe like a little darker.
Yeah, and that darkness that I'm getting is almost like a really creamy peanut butter darkness.
Creamy. I'm not getting peanut butter, but I'm like sensing creaminess.
Maybe not peanut butter, because it's not really peanutty.
Right.
It's a little bit, it's putting the image of peanut butter in my mind without the note, because it's creamy like creamy peanut butter.
Okay, that makes sense. I can see that.
And maybe the darkness is a little bit more milk chocolatey. That's what I'm getting.
I don't know. I just smell dark and creamy.
It smells really good too. Caramel forward, milk chocolate, creamy. Let's get it on the palate.
Okay. It's lighter on the palate than I thought. Like the weight of the liquid is light. If that makes sense.
Because it didn't match that creamy note on the nose.
Mm-hmm. I expected it to feel heavier. I expected it to feel thicker.
I also think because, and we will take some time in a few minutes to take our time off camera, clear our palate, start with the first or second glass, go back to the first. But I think the first glass has so much of that carbonated spice effect going on.
It's affecting.
That it's affecting this glass because we didn't do
Yeah.
that right now. So sometimes that's not an issue at all. Other times one glass can wash another glass out. I really like what's on this second glass a lot
Yeah.
as well. I need another sip.
I
though.
do too. And honestly, I'm getting white pepper on the nose after I go back to it. Different than black pepper.
I'm getting some like dark fruit now. Like some plummy datey type stuff. Let's get on the palate.
Okay. It's interesting because the other one we said was effervescent, but this one is giving me cola vibes.
I was just about to say that.
But it's not as effervescent, which you would think would give
Right.
me more cola vibes.
Yeah.
That I don't understand what I just said, but I know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, this
You know
is
what I mean?
this is a sensation of carbonated effervescence.
Yes.
This is the flavors of
like
cola.
Cola.
Yeah.
Not any specific cola,
Right.
just cola.
Almost like a kind of a crafty, boutique-y type of cola. Like you would
Maybe.
get at some swanky, shop that sold artisanal lunch.
I'm gonna let you keep going, sure.
That's all I got.
Okay,
I was
cool.
literally at the end of the road there.
Okay.
We ran out.
I was just gonna see how far you would take it.
Man, that's really good. That's really good. It's got that dense, saturated, dark fruitiness that I was picking up on the nose on that, second sniff after going back to the nose
Yeah.
from the palate from the first sip. That sentence doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry for that.
I'm not getting much fruitiness, but let's take some time and taste
Yeah.
these in reverse off camera, and then we can come back with our final thoughts and opinions.
Would you say before we take a break, so people know, proof-wise, these seem to be similar, just this one is more spice-driven.
Yeah.
And this one is a little bit more just saturated.
I feel like you feel the proof on this one as far as what it does to your tongue.
Mm-hmm.
This one is probably like a little more sneaky in its proof.
Yeah, it drinks a little bit more balance, and then the finish lasts on both of them quite a ways. So
Yeah.
this is a great matchup. Can't wait to see what they are later on. But like we said, we're going to take our time. We'll be back, let you know which ones we prefer, our ratings and all that, and then we'll do our finding out. That was incredibly helpful for me. I don't know how it was for you because we don't discuss it. I'm going to find out along with you.
Yeah.
What do you think about
it
these two?
It wasn't super helpful. I didn't come up with anything new
Okay,
that
no
I
new
haven't
news?
already said. However, the effervescence on this first glass, as I was drinking it, became more and more annoying to me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think I like it as much as glass 2.
When you say annoying, is it because it was kind of harsh?
Yeah. Like it
Yeah.
became more and more harsh. The first couple sips was kind of like, oh, this is interesting.
Right.
And then it just became too much.
Yeah.
And I wasn't getting a lot of flavors. I was just getting more of a sensation of effervescence.
Yeah.
And on this one, I felt like I could drink more of this. But everything I tasted, I was still tasting throughout. Like no new flavor notes or anything.
Right.
I just didn't want the effervescence that glass 1 was bringing to the table.
So you prefer the second glass.
Mm-hmm.
What are your ratings on these?
I'm going to give glass 1 just okay. Glass 2 a thumbs up.
Okay. I'm kind of in the same place as you,
Oh, really?
actually. I thought in my head, glass 1 was a little bit of heat for heat's sake. The
Yeah.
first few sips are nice because it kind of, pow, it hits your palate.
Yeah. You're like,
busts
"Oh."
through the wall like the Kool-Aid
Yeah.
Man. Oh, yeah. And then
I remember those commercials.
after a few more sips, at least, especially in comparison to glass 2, when you start with glass 2 and go back to glass 1, it shows how refined glass 2 is, but still has a lot going on. Whereas glass 1 is just a little rowdy, for no reason.
Yeah, it's seemingly like for no reason.
Yeah, and look, I like both of these. I'm going to give Glass 1 a thumbs up. I'm going to give Glass 2 2 thumbs up.
Whoa.
Rare rating.
You're feeling very generous today.
Well, Glass 2 is awesome. It's like a chocolate-covered cherry, like a cherry cordial, beautiful, sweet, musty oak.
I wasn't getting a ton of that.
Yeah, and Glass 2 does this funny thing where everything is really well integrated, so you kind of have to pick apart the layers because when you smell it, everything is just kind of presents very cohesively.
And I think I just don't want to go to that much work, so I don't.
Yeah.
So therefore, if you want tasting notes, listen to him.
Glass 2,
because I'm not going to go to that much work to drink my whiskey.
I've already put in a request that whatever Erin doesn't drink out of her 2 glasses, I would like, as she's taking another sip. It's just breaking my heart over here right now. There's a small tear that you can't see right now.
Until it's yours.
It is. But Glass 1 I thought was great too. I mean, I got some similar flavor notes between the two. Again, there's this cherry.
It's good, but it's a small doses pour.
Yeah, cherry oaky type of thing in this one. But yeah.
How like some people are like small dose people. You can only be around them for a little bit. This is like a small dose pour. I would only want a little bit of it and then I'm good.
Yep. So Glass 1, you're just okay.
Yep.
I'm thumbs up.
Let's find
Glass
out
2.
how much these cost.
Your thumbs up. I'm 2 thumbs up. We both prefer Glass 2. I will say, we were talking about this. The one thing we did talk about off camera was how sneaky these are. At least Glass 2. I think Glass 1 presents as proofy, but Glass 2 is sneaky. I think it's got sneaky proof because the finish on both of these lasts a really long time.
Yeah.
I am going to say that, I mean, honestly, there's bottles I've had that are $100 hitting like this.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they were even more than that. But we'll find out.
Okay.
Glass number 1, our least preferred glass, price is
$100.
There we go. I will stay thumbs up because that's about what I expect.
That's kind of what I expected to, and I will stay just okay because for $100, I probably wouldn't buy it because it's a little too rowdy for me.
Yeah. Glass 2, price?
Also $100.
I will gladly stay 2 thumbs up. If I could get that Glass 2 for $200 or $100, I'd be so happy. If I could get both of these for $200, I'd be so happy. Trying to figure it out? Glass 2 just seems really well crafted to me.
It does. And I want to stay thumbs up because I do feel like it's a fair price for what's in the glass. But if I'm going based off of what I would I pay $100 for what's in this glass?
Yeah.
I would not.
Okay.
So I need you to hear what I'm saying. I feel like the price is fair for what is in this glass, but for me,
you're just frugal.
I'm a little more frugal than Josh is.
Yeah.
And also just for me, I wouldn't pay $100 for this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go down to just okay.
I like this at 100. I've had bottles that I've paid $200 for that I don't like as much as this.
Oh, wow.
I will say that.
Okay.
I'm not saying I'll pay $200 for it. May or may not, depending on what my budget's looking like.
Like, I wouldn't be disappointed if you bought this with our money.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go buy it with, like, my fun spending money that's, like, just mine out of our budget. Okay. Does that make sense?
So let's find out what Glass 1 is. Okay. The one we preferred less.
47.
47. It
is Stagg Bourbon Batch 22A.
Oh, I like 22A.
And it is 132.2 proof, and boy, do you feel it.
Boy, howdy.
Boy, howdy, butter my buns and call me a biscuit. Because you feel that proof, man. Remember how
it kicks like a stag.
Remember how I said I feel like these are like in the 120s, but then I'm like, that can't be right.
Well,
that's too high.
Glass 1 drinks like 110, or Glass 2 drinks like 110.
Okay.
What's Glass 2?
It is E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof, Batch 11.
Really?
And it's 129 proof.
Wow. Okay.
One or both of these are thanks to John Michael Elder. Do you know?
We have 22A, but the E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof sample.
From John Michael.
Yeah, we have a couple of different implementations of E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof in various
thank you, John
tools.
Michael, for the E.H. Taylor samples.
So much. Wow. Yeah, I have such a limited range of experience with E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof. It's just not a product I've had very much experience with at all. You even less. Yes.
I have a question.
Totally fine. I'm in the middle of making a point, but go ahead.
No, that's why I raised my hand. Make your point, and then I'll ask my question.
Go ahead.
Make your point.
I'm done.
Okay.
The video does not progress until you say what you're going to say.
So you put down $100. That's if you can find these for retail.
Well, if you can find them for retail, they're both under that, I believe.
Okay.
I think Stagg is 60 at suggested retail. I think E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof is 70 or 80 at suggested retail. The likelihood that you're going to find either one of these at that price
kind of what
silly.
I was getting at. Is so these are listed at $100, but like we're not going to find them.
Right. Now, there are batches of Stagg that I know I love and I would be willing to pay up for a little
Okay.
bit, you know, maybe even a little bit over what's listed in the key, but that's just a personal preference thing, and you don't have to agree with that. That's totally fine. Just saying, I like the experience and I like having a bottle of Stagg around. So if I didn't, I would be willing to pay it for a batch I knew I liked. Not any batch, but for a batch I knew I liked,
Okay.
I would pay up. E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof goes for considerably more at a lot of the marked up prices. I think it's kind of floating between $350 and $400 right now. If you found a bottle,
Oh my gosh.
that's a lot of money.
Yes.
It didn't present quite like that type of drinking experience. This is wild. This is a wild matchup.
Yeah.
I think the reason this is in the pool, because we like to speak to that, every matchup that we put in the pool cannot be available versus allocated. Otherwise, every matchup that we walk into double blind, we know we're drinking
We
something
have
available
some sort
versus
of
allocated.
preconceived notion about what it could be,
Right.
and we can unintentionally try to pick which one is the available and which one's the allocated.
Right.
And we don't want to do that. We want to have no bias, so we
Right.
don't need to know if it's a bourbon, a rye,
Right.
bourbon and a rye mashup, or 2 ryes or 2 bourbons. We just don't want to know.
But the majority of the pool is that, but we have to have some of these hard to find versus hard to find things to keep us on our toes.
Mm-hmm.
We also have to have some very inexpensive versus other very inexpensive things to also keep us on our toes. Maybe they come across as really good value. I think what this proved today is that while I was 2 thumbs up and really did like both of these a ton, Aaron, a very seasoned whiskey drinker, didn't like Stagg Junior, Stagg Bourbon, this particular batch all that much.
Yeah.
You liked it, but it was not something you're wanting. It's fine to have now.
It was a little too much.
Right, it's fine to have now, but not something you would seek out. You like
Correct.
a little bit more balance and a little bit more composure. You like a gentlemanly pour.
A little, yeah, I like.
You
my
like a
whiskey.
gentleman.
I like my whiskey to open the car door for me.
Right, and
Let's
Stagg's
just
not doing that.
Open the door. Just be a gentleman. Just treat me nicely.
Right.
And that was a little bit not nice.
Stagg's not opening doors for you.
Nah.
It's walking in the door first, spitting as it goes in. It half
mean-
closes on you. You're just trying to keep up.
No, I don't think it's that, but
Okay.
you know, it wasn't being very gentlemanly.
Yes. Very interesting. Hopefully this was a good one.
Yeah.
You sound off in the comments below if you think it's silly for us to do these, but we really do have to have these in here so that, you know,
It keeps us honest. It keeps us on our toes.
we have to have some curveballs.
We can't get too comfortable with the blind
Yes.
sample pool. We have a lot of samples in the blind sample pool, and it's constantly growing, so we don't ever know what's in it.
Yep.
So these are the kind of things we have to do to keep that up.
The integrity of the double blind format
Mm-hmm.
is paramount around here. And it's also paramount that if you like good whiskey and good people, you should go down to the video description and find a link to our Patreon.
Absolutely.
Get in over there as little as $3. Join for free if you're interested in our barrel picks, and any of those make it past the paid tiers. Just go ahead and join for free for that. But then $3 tier will get you involved in our community, get you access to our Discord server where we can privately trade samples, help each other find things, talk whiskey all day. And then as the tiers go up from there, you get access to our barrel picks, which we've got a ton coming this year, and
do.
they're awesome. We've got virtual tastings. We've got private live
live
streams. We
streams.
do all kinds of stuff.
You do pop-up videos
Yep.
every now and then.
But it's the
Yeah.
best. It's the best dang whiskey community out there,
It is.
in our opinion.
No, it's facts. It's objective truth.
Yeah. Okay. And then also at Stuff and Whiskey, you can find. I mean,
New merch.
just look at this.
Yeah.
Little Floyd inspired. Come on now, Dark Side of the Moon, Dark Side of the Whiskey right here.
What?
Check it out. Check it out down there. Tons of new. I think there's like 12 or 13 new shirt designs down there. Well worth checking out.
Absolutely.
They're not all huge Stuff and Whiskey branded. There's some pretty general stuff as well, but you're probably gonna like it if you like this video. Speaking of, if you like this video, give her
it
an
a
old
thumbs
thumbs up down there. Subscribe to the channel if you like these blind tastings and this style of content, because it's what we do, boo.
That's what we do.
And
Took my word.
hit the bell. We go live once a month. We'd love for you to join us. Yeah, I think that's it.
That's it for today. Be good to each other, guys.
Can I have those?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
And until next time,
Cheers.